I'm TJ.
And this is Warrior Showdown. We're the creators, and this is season 2.
It's true. Fight 6. And also, the return of this handsome mug is the Roman soldier versus my good buddy Jen Karis as the Elven Huntress.
A new addition to our roster.
Yes.
I'd like to point out, first of all, that weapon that Jen Karis is holding was completely designed by this guy.
And then built by Master Blacksmith Man-at-Arms Tony Swatton.
She's using it like a bow, but it doesn't actually bow because it's completely made out of metal. But she is so awesome, she could actually use it as a bow and be fairly accurate with it. She is actually hitting TJ with those arrows, and which we made ourselves.
Yeah, what you're seeing is a combination of computer-generated arrows and arrows that she's shooting. Like that shot where I'm hitting them, that's all fake arrows. And we didn't really intend it to be that way, but in post, once I got the idea that I could be doing this, I just went so overboard. And I'll be the first to say, it is beyond absurd. And I actually think the sequence goes on way too long.
Nah.
But I just had so much fun doing it that that's my favorite one, where he actually stops the arrow between his sword and his shield. And I added like a whole 2 minutes of this fight. I honestly don't know if any part of this is entertaining to anyone other than me, because it's just her shooting arrows and me doing cool things to break them. This is where the fight actually begins, and that is a real arrow that she really shot at me, and that I really hit. What's difficult about it is we learned very quick that the arrow travels way too fast. So if I wait until after the arrow has left the bow for me to swing, I'm gonna be way behind it. And there's a lot of footage of her releasing it and me swinging and it already hitting me in the armor. So I have to start my action like considerably before her. She's actually shooting into my attack stream. And that's even harder than just hitting me. So really impressive performance by her. She can use this not only as a bow, but also as a double-bladed staff. Not that dissimilar to how Darth Maul's lightsaber is, where it has a grip in the center and then 2 curved blades on the side, curved in her case.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to just create a weapon that was unlike anything that I had ever seen, that gave you a lot of versatility and would be fun to use. It could be projectile, it could be close-range staff weapon. She can also alter it and use it as 2 separate weapons.
What?
This shot right here that you're about to see, she was really shooting the arrows, and that really did hit me in the neck.
In the neck.
Slipped right into the armor. I tried to save it and pinch it between my neck there, but I could barely do it. I still wanted it in there because it was just too cool. That one where I swung at it, she just hit me, and I missed it. That's an example of that, but we kept it in.
And I will say this, TJ, that he is wearing a Lorica segmentata, and that is completely made out of metal and very, very heavy.
A lot of, no, it's not that heavy, but it is steel. A lot of what we do is polyurethane or aluminum to make things a little bit more maneuverable and lighter, because we're doing choreography that you would never do with these armor pieces. But the only one we had access to was a real historical Lorica segmentata. And so my helmet and my body armor are legit and very stinking heavy.
And he could not rehearse with these at all. It was just the nature of when we could get this costume piece. So he is having to adjust to all of this new costuming on the day.
And so is she, because it changes things for her too. Right. We knew we needed to get that helmet off me, because there are points in the fight where it's too tall. And so we decided, since she was flipping me over at this point anyway, it would be an opportune time to lose the helmet and move on.
Nice little shot there for the men's.
When we were originally doing that, she was hiking and I was leaping over and doing a dive roll over her legs. This is a Natalie ad. I'm going to interrupt myself. She was like, that's lame that you're getting hit by 1 arrow. You need to add like a whole bunch of those. So I took a shot where I'm actually animating my arm with post-production effects. And I agree with her. My character just gets done destroying all these arrows, and then he gets hit by just a couple. Get a hit, like shoot 5 at me for it to even
do anything.
I know, I'm the ultimate warrior. Here's where she starts really putting me through my paces, and
Putting the hurt on.
I don't think I've ever seen her smile so big. Jennifer and I did this show together for 2 or 3 years. It was a stunt show where we played sword fighting characters, where in the show I won. And so I would defeat her 6 times a day, many days a week, and that was just the way it goes. So when she knew she was gonna not just beat me, but like decimate me,
She was all for it.
all for it.
She's like, where do I sign up?
Yep.
But because they fought together for years, they had great chemistry on set. And it made for, I think, a very entertaining and very different sort of fight because of the different weapons she has, the projectile weapons that she has, his whole look that most, like a lot of people don't do that in fights.
Something about her snapping my fingers in the bowstring is just so spiteful. It's like so unnecessarily cruel. I love it. So now I'm pinned down with a couple arrows. Even though my, I'm gonna jump back a little bit. Even though my armor is real, my shield is very heavy, but it's like 1/3 scale. An actual scudum or scudum, however you say it, shield is man-sized. It covers from like neck to foot. There was no way I was gonna be able to do any choreography with it, so we used a scaled down version.
And even that was really heavy.
That back fist that I just hit her in the face with has become an oncoming joke in many of the subsequent projects that she and I have done, where it's almost like I automatically build in a point where she gets back fisted in the face. And it's like, oh, all right, this is gonna keep happening
now. Oh, and this is TJ being all, actory and stuff.
We all have our strengths.
I think Karis actually kind of relished this moment.
She did. She liked it. She did not mind hurting me. I expected that she would win. I kind of knew it from like before we even did a single thing. 'Cause she's a really cool character. She's a really attractive woman. She's got a very unique weapon, and I have a history of losing in Warrior Showdown.
Yes, you do.
I do. So I kind of figured she would win, but what I didn't expect was the reaction that most people had by this point in the fight, where they start off cheering for her, like, yeah, she's awesome, get her. And then at this point they're like, aw, she's poor Roman soldier.
Well, that's just because she's decimating you.
Even Jennifer was like, oh, I kind of feel bad.
Yeah,
although I
this
don't think she
finishing
really
move.
did.
That's gruesome.
I think of this as she's a hunter. She's an elven huntress. And once you incapacitate your prey, you do the mercy killing. So I don't think she's doing this for any reason than just to put me out of my misery.
But did you just see that smirk she had on her face?
Okay, maybe she enjoys that she won. But she could have just let me bleed out. I was gonna die anyway. It's just, she's doing me a kindness here. And Jennifer had this idea where she's like, wouldn't it be cool if I made like a marking on me from my kill's blood? I'm like, that's pretty cool. It's like, and if I keep winning, I'll just keep putting marks on myself. Well, you gotta win first. So she's got a tough matchup in round 2 against the Persian Prince, so we'll see how that goes. 'Cause he was also a pretty popular fan favorite.
And all about marking himself with blood, too.
That's true. It's true. They have that in common. This is Jennifer's Hero Walk Away. She definitely has that down. She's also really into cosplay, and she's a big-time gamer girl, so you can probably check out a bunch of her other stuff.
JenniferCaris.com.
It's worth a look. She knows how to bring these characters to life, just like she brought the Elven Huntress to life.
Yeah, she actually, it was her idea to stick all those leaves and feathers in her hair.
Yeah, and I really thought that it created a good look and a very iconic Warrior Showdown character.
Yes.
So good job, Jennifer.
Good on ya!
You beat me up, but I went down in style. And
let's see the spread on this one.
yeah, so back before when we said Persian Prince and Musketeer were the biggest percentage.
Of that round.
Yeah. I had no chance.
We'll see you next time. One more?